In this video, we're going to be going over Linux Fundamentals Part 1. Part 1 really acts as the intro to Linux section. Part 2, we dive a little bit deeper into Linux, and Part 3, we dive even deeper into Linux. And by the end of the 3-part series, you'll have a fairly good understanding on Linux operating systems. But this is all on tryhackme. You can work through these rooms if you'd like on your own. There are some practical exercises as well, and that would be a great way to be able to test your knowledge, so I highly encourage you do that. But with all that said, let's jump right in. First, let's go over a bit of a background of Linux, and they talk about the background of Linux here on tryhackme. If you're not already familiar with Linux, it's an operating system that is utilized in just about every facet of your life, whether it's point of sale systems, oftentimes corporate networks run on Linux, IoT devices more than likely run on Linux. And the reason is Linux is just a more lightweight operating system than other operating systems like Windows or Mac OS. It's also easier to customize because it's open source, which means anybody is able to make changes to the operating system to fit their needs. As opposed to Windows or Mac OS, where if you want to make a fundamental change to the operating system, you might be out of luck. Now, there are many different flavors of Linux. If you're watching this and you're part of the cybersecurity crowd, then you're probably familiar with Linux and Kali Linux and Red Hat and some of the other security-centric distributions of Linux. However, everybody should be familiar with Ubuntu, which is a good general-purpose distro of Linux. CentOS and Apache are also great utilizations and deployments for Linux. But for this room right here, what we really want to understand is who invented Linux and when. And we can credit Linus Torvalds as the main creator of Linux back in 1991. Now, on the next tab, if you're following along, you'll have an opportunity to be able to deploy a Linux server and connect to it in your browser. So go ahead and do that right now. Now, the real power of Linux can be unlocked whenever you understand the command line interface, or the CLI. And there are some very basic commands that we're going to learn right now off the top to be able to know how exactly we can interact with our environment. And tryhackme gives us two separate commands right here, echo and who am I. Echo will quite literally echo a string that you give it. So for instance, if you echo quote, who am I, it will echo who am I. That was a terrible example because of the next command, who am I? If you type in who am I, the CLI will reply with the user account that you are currently logged in as. Go ahead and put those answers down into the answer box. Now, how is it exactly that you can navigate the file system? Because whenever you open the CLI, you're actually sitting at a specific point in the Linux file system. To figure out where exactly you are, you can type in PWD. That's short for present working directory. And it will tell you the path or the exact location in the file system that you are at now. You can type in LS, or short for list, to be able to find the different files or folders that exist in your current location. And then you can do CD or change directory to be able to change either backward, forward, or into one of the files in your directory. CD ... actually will take you back one directory. You can also change your directory to a specific location. So if you know the file path of a specific directory you want to go to, you can do CD and then type the path of that directory you want to go to, and you will go right there. Next is cat, and that really, and the full name here is concatenate, and that will basically view a file that you have permissions to view. So for instance, say there is a note in your present working directory called mynote.txt. You type in cat mynote.txt. It will pop up, hello world, hi file. Now let's try searching for files. Say that there is a specific file on your machine that you're looking for right now and you don't know how to find it. In comes the find command. This command is so handy because it allows you to be able to find pretty much anything that you are looking for. For instance, if you're looking for a file with a specific name, you can find it. If you want to find files with a specific permission set, you can find that as well. There are a number of different flags that you can put with the find command. You can see that right here on the screen. But basically, all you need to know is that you can type find -name and then type the name of the file you're looking for. Find -name like button. Next, we're going to talk about grep, and this is also a very handy command. Grep will basically search the output of your previous command or search and look for something specific that you give it. So the example here in tryhackme is you're looking through access.log, and it's going to have a ton of different logs in that log. So say you're looking for a specific IP address like the one it shows here. You can grep the IP address as a string, and it will search that access log and then show you all the different lines that that IP address appears in. Pretty handy. There's also a flag that you can find in this room, so I'll let you find that. Next, let's talk about shell operators, because these can also be a powerful tool to be able to use on the CLI to really extend the power of your command. For instance, here we got and then we got some less than sign or greater than sign, whatever those are. I'm not good at math. The single and command will allow you to run the command in the background. The double and will allow you to combine the commands. The single greater than sign will actually redirect the output of your previous command. For instance, say you want the output to be input into a TXT document or something like that, then you can use this operator to do just that. And then you can use the name of the document you would like that output input into. Output, input, input, output, in, whatever. The double greater than sign actually will append the output to whatever's in the document. So if you use the single greater than sign, it will actually delete everything in the file and replace it with the output of your current command. If you use the double greater than sign, it will just append it to the end of the file. Important differentiation. And that is pretty much all you need to know about Linux Fundamentals Part 1. In the next video right here, we're going through Linux Fundamentals Part 2. And on the bottom, you can actually follow along with the tryhackme pre-security path, which we are doing right now. So again, be sure to like this video. It's free. Why not? It really makes me happy. Have a good one.